Today's activity, the thing that we'll be doing today, the goal of tonight. Today, we're going to replace 4 bolts. Is that good? So the last thing that we need to do to the Spyder, where it can stay in Street E, is camber bolts. So you're allowed to use bolts that are specifically mentioned in the factory service manual as being a suitable replacement for original equipment. And this is one such bolt. It's a little thinner than the factory bolts that come installed in the car, and using them, we'll be able to push in the connection between the knuckle and the strut in order to gain some negative camber on the front. I just went to twosrus.com. I think you order like a set, like they come in a pair, and you get the bolt and the nut and the washer. Yes, you can order all those parts from a Toyota dealership directly, but then you have to like look up the part numbers. If you just get them from Toys R Us, you don't have to do that. And you support Toys R Us on the way, which is great because Toys R Us is good. So all we're going to do is install these bolts. And in order to do that, we gotta get the car up in the air and take the wheels off. So here we go. Parking brake is on. Woo! So now, both the front tires are in the air. There are no legal bolts for the rear, so we're just going to do the 2 fronts. Okay! Give me an ugga! Give me a dugga! I'm not going to use that. With the wheel off, now we can see the bolts that we're replacing. They're right here. So you're going to need a breaker bar and some sort of ratchet. Always break bolts with a breaker bar. We will simply remove the nuts. That's funny.
Yeah.
You thought it was funny when we did it to Nook too, didn't you? You monster. Think of his little face.
I can't.
Thousands of dogs every day lose their nuts. And see, by comparing the new one, you can see how much thinner it is. And that's what's going to allow us to add some of that sweet, sweet camber.
Stance, boy.
Stance, boy. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Precisely, madam. I'm going to install the thing the other way because the brake disc is sort of like, it's in the way of the bolt, man. So we've got and washer. So you can see even with one of these bolts in, this is how much adjustment you get out of just putting that bolt on. Before, with the other bolt in, you can't move it at all. So now we'll put in the other bolt as well. There we go. Washer and nut. And then with both of them fairly loose, simply push this in to get as much camber as possible. And it looks like that's as far as we can go. So as you see, as this wheel is tilted up, it also looks like it's tilted like this way as well. Mm-hmm. You're getting more than just a little movement, which is one of the reasons why you need to align your car after you do this. My car already needs an alignment, so no change. Basically with my knee pressed up against this, I will now tighten to at least snug this down.
Now when you use a camber bolt like this, which allows camber adjustability by simply being thinner than the original bolt, then the clamping force of the nut and the washer and the bolt head on the strut and the knuckle, that frictional force, metal on metal here, is the only thing that's stopping your camber from changing while you are driving. So this needs to be really tight. I will be tightening to spec. I've seen a few specs online. I've seen about 100 foot-pounds, and I've seen about 140 foot-pounds. These are brand new bolts. Typically when people do camber bolt installs, I've heard arguments both ways of you should torque them to spec and you should tighten them as much as you possibly can, and then just consider them to be one-use items. Like if you ever take these out, you need to buy new ones because they are like excessively worn if you go over spec. I will be tightening them to 130 foot-pounds. Use your own judgment. Everybody who builds cars has different ideas about things precisely like this. Oh, let's just do 135 for giggles. I don't think it'll break.
Let's find out.
It's going to be a while, I think, until we get to 130. 130 is going to be pretty much my entire weight on the end of this. Well, this is longer than a foot, right? This is more like 2 feet.
That's 2 feet.
So it'll be like 80-ish pounds of weight on this. Will be 130. There you go.
That sounded dangerous.
The clicking or what?
That sound.
That's the sound of a torque wrench doing its thing. So that's it. Put the wheel back on and let the car down.
Yay.
So you can see here, there's a clear angle. That's like approximately straight up and down. And then if you compare it to the other side, you can see how ridiculous my toe is. That's why my steering is so messed up. This toe is way wider than it should be. Maybe I'll fix that when I do this side. This is the stock camber. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and watch my autocross videos where I drive the car, because that's kind of the point of building it. And get inspired to enter your own autocross or do track days or whatever. You can post videos of that. And then if you do that, I'll probably watch them, because I watch all kinds of MR2 content. Thumbs up. Damn, I got.
And I was doing it one-handed. It's the thumb war, you only do it one-handed.
I was like, what are you talking about? You hurt me.
I'm sorry.
It's late.
Bedtime. It's a car.
It's a car.
Bye-bye.